Okay, it's time for another knife video. I'm trying to do all of my top 5 knives or whatever, and this one is one I almost forgot about. I keep it in the truck all the time, and the truck I take out to the woods, right? And this is one of my favorite bushcrafting knives. It used to be the one I used all the time, and so a lot I've forgotten about it, but it's a TBS Boar, I think. And one of the reasons why I was able to remember what it is I couldn't remember, but I actually have another one. And when I was looking for that, I found out that no, I actually have 2 other ones. So these are for collecting, and I'll show those in a minute. This is one that I customized, and one of the first things I noticed is, and I've forgotten the details on this, is I have a different sheath, and I made a fire steel. So what I did was I bought a blade from the Bushcraft store, and I worked that blade and put the handle on it and nice liners. Also, like I said, worked the blade. This has a lot of use, and I whack it and use it as an axe basically in the woods. Used to use it for everything, but one thing I found is it's a very thick stock, so it's at least a quarter stock, and we have the Scandi grind on it, which is popular for bushcrafting. So it does excellent woodwork, feather sticking, splitting wood, really good for splitting. But when I was out throwing apples and I'd cut them up, you know, it doesn't slice that well because it's a really thick blade with a Scandi grind. So I polished that bevel, and it's got all kinds of marks on it because, I mean, I really whacked this thing. And what I did was, I love liners and I love thick handles, so I have, this one has blue fiber liners and brass pins with no lanyard hole, 3 brass pins. And the handle is something that I like that's hard to find. It's lignum vitae, and that is one of the hardest woods on the earth, and it's one of the heaviest woods on the earth. I think if you look it up, it comes in maybe 3rd for the hardest wood, and I think the other 2 are just simply not available, probably due to rarity, or the fact that a lot of these trees are protected. Apparently they used to use lignum vitae for actually bearings, because it's so hard that you know, it doesn't wear out. And you know, back in times, I guess, of before we had you know, industrialization, or even in the beginning of that, it was just a natural bearing material. So this knife is wonderful. You could still buy a completed knife. I couldn't find any blades. This feels, well, I made this for my hand. I made this myself, so it feels perfect in my hand. But let's move on to the fire steel as well, which, you know, I added a matching lignum vitae handle to it, and that one does have the lanyard, and you could tell I've used it quite a bit. And that's the other thing, it's really good for starting fires. So one of the good things about the lanyard on the fire steel is it fits really good and keeps it from ever falling out. This sheath, it's been protected with some kind of, I forget which one, either snow seal or Obenaufs. But I made sure it was I made it fitted, and there's a technique for that you can see online, but basically it involves wetting the sheath and allowing it to shrink onto the knife, so it's fitted. So let's show you what you would get if you bought one. Well, I have 2 different ones. Same sheath. Is it same sheath? Yes, I think just the straps here, I just removed them. They used to have the straps. So one has liners and one doesn't. I think this looks like a birch burl, and you can see that this blade has the steel marking on it. It's N695. That's a Boar 695. And if you look online and check that out, you'll see that that's kind of an improved 440C, which that used to be. I'm a real big buck knife fan, so that was one of my favorites. Well, they actually have the Boar engraved, and it's on the sheath. So that is a TBS Boar. TBS, the Bushcraft store. You can find that online. I believe they're in England, but can't remember for sure. And pretty nice. It's got lanyard hole, large pins, large nickel pins or steel pins. Still feels good in the hand, a little bit thinner. And let's compare that to this one, which is a nicer one. I will guess at the wood. I can't remember. I've had this. I might have had it 10 years even. This one has a serial number on it. It's still 690. And there's the Boar, and beautiful red liners. You know, I love liners. Liners aren't just pretty; they actually, improve the quality. They allow for heat expansion. And I've had a little issue on the other one because I keep it in the truck all the time. Nothing to, no delamination or anything, but I have noticed a little bit of expansion. Really pretty. You might be able to tell in this one that the blade has not been polished, and I didn't think I had done anything here. This was probably the first one, so I have used this one because it's been sharpened and polished, and that's one thing I'll do sometimes. I've mentioned that in another video. I'll do it with certain steels. If it's too hard of a steel, then it's kind of diminishing returns to try to polish that out. It's really mostly for looks. It doesn't really, I don't think it really improves very much on the effectiveness of the cutting. So these are really pretty. What happened was, I guess I got this one. I can't really remember anymore, but you can tell I've used it, and I wanted another one for collecting, so I got a little nicer, prettier one. And then lastly, since they offered the blades, and I do a little bit of a knife making, not blade smithing, and I wanted a different handle material, and I went with that lignum vitae, which I have some more of, and I have on a few knives. So to sum it all up, I think it's a great knife. I don't remember how much they are. They're not that expensive. You can find them online still, and they have a lot of new options. I can't specify. Go to the website if you want to check it out, and see if there's anything you like. But I really like these knives. One day I'm going to do a my top 5 knives or whatever, however many that turns out, and this one will be on the list, and let's revisit that. So yes, I prefer this sheath. I don't know if that was an option there or not. I can't remember. You can check. I can't remember where I got the sheath now. And then because it hold my fire steel. And as a bushcraft knife, that's something that's popular. Again, I've polished everything. You can see all kinds of nicks on it. I'll try to get a video of me using it. It's real hot right now, so I'm not outside as much. But yeah, this is one of my go-to knives, especially when I'm doing wood and or batoning, because of the strength of the blade. And if you can read up on Boar 690, N690, or you'll see that, like I said, it's an improved version 440 with a little better 440C with a little better corrosion resistance, and you can do a cryogenic hardening to 60 HRC. I've never tested any knives, even when I had the equipment to do it at work, but this is definitely sufficient for my needs. Alright, please subscribe and like my video, and I'll see you next time.